If you were standing on a quiet railway platform in the middle of the night and a stranger asked for directions to a station that was demolished 20 years ago, you might assume they were simply confused. But the confusion vanishes when the traveler presents his ticket. It is a physical artifact, coarse paper, official ink, printed for a journey into a decade that no longer exists. This evidence points to something more localized and terrifying than a ghost. It is a moment where a violent past refuses to move forward, forcing the present to collide with a version of reality that should have been buried long ago. To find the source of this collision, we look to the Modhpura Station at 1 a.m. Four men, Ratna Chacha, Keshav, Jagu, and Bola, are slumped on the platform benches. They've spent the entire day hauling goods through city markets, and their bodies have reached the limit of physical endurance. Their exhaustion is met with a sudden mechanical drone from the station speakers. Track repairs have halted all traffic. Their train is canceled, leaving them stranded in the silence for another 4 hours. Modhpura is a skeleton of a station at this hour. The few lights that remain throw a dim, sickly yellow glow over the empty tracks, leaving the men isolated in a pocket of deep shadows and heavy, still air. When the body is this depleted and the environment is this silent, the brain's cognitive filters begin to fail. The wall between what is real and what is impossible becomes thin, making the mind a perfect canvas for anomalous events. Keshav is the first to see it. At the very edge of the platform, where the light dies into the dark, an old man in a faded white kurta slowly begins to walk towards them. He stops a few feet away and asks a question that makes no sense in the modern world. He wants to know when the next train will arrive for Ramnagar. The merchants look at each other in disbelief. Ramnagar station didn't just close, it was abandoned, and the tracks were pulled up years ago. The old man doesn't flinch. He insists that he only left Ramnagar this morning, standing firm in a reality that directly contradicts the world the four merchants inhabit. This is where the dread settles in. The man isn't acting or threatening them. He is presenting a truth that cannot exist. The merchants are forced to confront the fact that they are sharing the platform with a piece of history that doesn't know it's over. To prove he belongs on a train, the old man reaches into his pocket and pulls out his ticket, handing it over to Keshav and Ratna Chacha for inspection. The date on the ticket is frozen. It was stamped exactly 20 years ago today. That date correlates with a specific tragedy, a massive derailment at Ramnagar that killed dozens of passengers instantly. A disaster so total that the station itself never recovered. As they stare at the ticket, the old man simply takes it back and walks away, disappearing back into the dark end of the platform. He isn't looking for help. He is just waiting for a journey he thinks is still happening. Some events are so violent they leave a permanent imprint on a location. The man isn't a conscious spirit. He is a passenger trapped in the final mundane minutes of his life, repeating a routine that was cut short 2 decades ago. Trying to escape the feeling of the encounter, Ratna Chacha and Jagu walk to a rusted water tap at the far end of the platform, desperate for a moment of physical normalcy. But the old man is already there. He is standing under a flickering bulb, his back to them, waiting in the same spot he was moments ago. When he turns his head, the mask of the traveler slips. The face looking back at them is a map of the ancient crash, mangled, asymmetrical, and bearing the heavy trauma of a high-speed impact. Seeing the physical damage from the 20-year-old wreck shatters the men's composure. The logic of the station is gone, replaced by a primal need to flee from a reality that has literally broken apart. The men retreat to the center of the platform, huddling together in a tight circle. For the next several hours, no one speaks. They simply watch the edges of the light, waiting for the shadows to move again. There is a unique horror in being unable to act. They cannot fight a memory, and they cannot walk into the pitch-black night surrounding the station. During these hours, time loses its standard rhythm. The 4-hour wait stretches into an internal eternity as the brain remains trapped in a high-alert state, processing the fact that the laws of the world have been suspended. At 5 a.m., the morning train finally pulls into Modhpura. The roar of the engine and the hiss of the brakes signal the return of the modern world. The 4 men board the train, staying close together, watching the station recede into the distance. They reached Chandanpur safely, but the safety feels hollow. They walked away with their lives, but they left a part of their certainty behind. Modhpura Station remains a purgatory for a traveler who was violently denied his destination, and for the four men who witnessed it, the world will always feel a little less solid than it did before.